Do you hear me properly?
Yes, yes, I heard it.
Okay, just hold on. Okay, microphone is connected properly. Okay, so basically, when we start our application and it's already created before, and if node modules folder does not appear or not here actually, so if you try to start your application like this, so then you can get this kind of issues. Okay,
Okay.
and when you get this kind of issue, then it's said npm install is required to get this particular package. Basically
Okay.
this is the package of application builder package. So it is a application builder package, and this application builder package are set up already here. Okay,
Okay.
so this is the package which is required to build our application. So for that
Okay.
particular reason, here I need administrative permissions here, and here said npm install, but I write npm I, and it's similar like npm install. And when I use it, after using this, node modules folder are coming here, and then we can start our application and with the npm start command. Okay,
Okay.
so after using this, our application also running, and we can see the output in the browser. Okay,
Okay.
so this is our output, current output, and also this is our current output. And now uh, after when we get this type of output, so basically here I have so many things already need to be know before it. Basically, uh, do you have some knowledge on html css?
I have not worked on it.
Okay,
I know what it is, but I have not worked on it. No
okay,
hands-on.
okay. So basically thing is, from basics does not require to know, because you are not be uh, website designer. You are working as a angular app developer, so most of the times you need to some understanding how css or html is working, and what kind of templates and components part are working behind the uh, scene. So basically that
Okay.
things are need to understand. Otherwise, um, you did not require to learn everything in details in HTML, in the HTML or CSS part. So basically, last time we set up some process to this particular uh, bootstrap setup we are uh, setting before, right, in the last class.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and when we set up it in the last class, you're already running your installation process in your system.
Yes. Yes. It's now npm install is still running.
Still running. Okay,
Yeah. It's not yet done.
okay. Just wait or some time, more
Okay.
some time.
Let us
So,
say we'll continue. If it's not working, then I will.
mm-hmm.
As I said, I will try it again after I get something.
Okay. So basically, if it is not done properly, then I can check out what is the problem there. Okay, you just copy the message into the chat box. I will check it in
So, yeah.
my computer. Okay, so basically, thing is, this particular link are actually web URL link. It is a website URL link, but this kind of process we are not using actually when we are working with third-party packages with the Angular or any other framework. Okay, so basically here I have so many options to set up this third-party library in our Angular application. Okay, so how can do that without this way, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so thing is, we can go to the browser and then we can just set up, uh, go to the getbootstrap.com, and after that we can use, we can go to the bootstrap site, and this is our first command. Okay, so this first command we can copy from here, and after that we terminate our uh, command, and then we just simply put that command like this. Okay, and then we can see this bootstrap package is coming in our system. Okay,
Okay. As a
in
dependency,
as
the
dependency
package.
it's coming, and when
Okay.
it's coming as dependency already, this particular package folder, it's coming also in this node modules folder, under this node module folder, and
Okay.
here you can see bootstrap folder, and when we go to the bootstrap folder, just we get the file for css, we can get css file. So this is the bootstrap main css, where is that? So this is the bootstrap main css. This particular file is required to import, and other uh, file is required, bootstrap dot bundle min.js. Okay, these two file need to be connect in our application. Okay,
Okay.
so there, in this Angular application we have so many different way to create our application process. So first thing, we already did it before, but at this moment I just remove it now. Okay,
Okay.
just remove it now, and once I remove from here, after that if we run in the um, application build command, so this is our application is running, and after that here our designs are broken. Okay, basically base css are not available, so for that particular purpose it's not working. Okay,
Okay.
so now what we can do for next, so we can go for main.ts file, and after that we can use import option, and we can also import like this. So basically thing is, we call bootstrap module. So bootstrap module is a, actually this is the bootstrap module name in the dependency. This is the bootstrap module, and after bootstrap module we can go for dist folder, and then we can go for css, and then we can uh, catch up the bootstrap.min.css file. Okay, this is the css part. When I save it, the save this file, after that we can see our previous looks are coming here. Okay, but here drop down is not working, so I just clicking here, but drop down is not working. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
so if it's not working, then we can use it another way. We just using bootstrap only, only bootstrap, not more than that,
Okay.
only bootstrap, and then we can rebuild our application. And when we did it, then it's recommend uh, proper code js is required as dependency after this file. Okay, so
Okay.
basically thing is, this particular package need to be installed by the command line. So what we need to do, just terminate the terminal, terminate the process, and after that we just npm I, and then we can use this particular command to install this particular package. And when our application package are installed, then our application is running, and now it's
Okay.
already running, and now drop down is working properly. Okay,
Okay.
this is the second way to use our application project through the main.ts file. Okay, this is the kind of
Okay.
another way to create our dependency with this process. Okay, but Angular have third process also except this. So if we are not using these particular lines within main.ts, so we can use it into the angular.json. This is the another project file. This is actually Angular project management file where have some settings about Angular project. Okay, and in this file we can set up a third party file dependency also here. Okay,
Okay.
so just when we want to install it, so before this we go to the project section. So this is the schema of Angular. It is called AngularJSON, and it is a project setup. And after that, under the project, my application name is demo app, and this demo app, and under that demo app, you can see styles option. And when you get this styles option, then we can use this particular line and to set our file to linked with our application. Okay, once you linked it, then this is only your application which is linked. Okay, but that means it is css file are linked with your application. But we did not work properly with only css. We also required javascript file too. Okay, and when we required to javascript, so after that we can use node modules slash bootstrap slash dist slash js, and after that bootstrap.bundle.min.js. These particular files, these two files need to be required to set our application in the Angular file, and it is the proper recommendations to set up third party dependencies. Okay,
Okay.
this is the recommendation of use third party dependencies in Angular.
Okay. Got it.
But previously that what I written here, this particular process also support in React framework, but at this moment as Angular site, when we working, then Angular recommends if we have any third party dependencies, and that third party dependency must be set up like this way. Okay,
Okay.
so once it is set up and your environment is already running before, then you should stop your terminal, then restart your terminal, and after that your look and feel properly working. Okay,
Okay.
it is the basic way to set up the third party application like bootstrap framework. And bootstrap is a css framework where we can get directly designed html and css both with some syntaxes, with pre-ready-made syntaxes. Okay, and this is the css library and js library are already there, and we just collect some codes from the uh, bootstrap sites, and we just paste the html in our component section. So basically today I discuss something another thing uh, about the uh, I talk about Angular structure. Basically, what kind of Angular structure is there, and what things actually need to do when we working in Angular. Okay. So here is the Angular learning process, but everything does not require. Something is required, but maybe if you know everything, it's okay, but otherwise uh, you can skip something which is you feel some hard, so then you can skip that. But I explain you everything.
Okay.
Just I collapse all the branches. So this is the Angular learning mode. Okay, our Angular learning roadmap is there, and here is the Angular core, and Angular core is main topic which we will be covered, which I will be cover with you everything. But after that, there have so many options already there. Maybe sometimes I discuss with you. Otherwise, you can also understand when you work with Angular, then you can understand everything easily. Okay. So what is the Angular core? Angular core means which is required when we working with Angular. So this is the Angular core is every time is required when we work with Angular 20. So basically Angular have some main core features. So Signal is new introduced in Angular 16 version, and it's actually properly work on from 17 version. But before that, components is most important part. When we are creating any kind of application, so first we need to create component first. Okay, so this is the component, and component have so many underline options. So like what kind of components are required, what is the component selector, what is the component style, how can accept the data input property, custom events, how can create to put the data output, and so many things are actually required when we are working with components. So component is the very important things in Angular when we creating any kind of front end application. Basically not only in Angular, component is everywhere so much important when we work with front end application. Okay.
Yeah.
So so component and template and directives, these three parts are visual part. Okay, components, template and directives, this three part is the visual part. So this three part is visual part, and it's three part so many different so many importance also. So basically one by one we can understand everything about the component, templates, directives, all. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So now when we start our application, so every in time after 17, after 17 uh, we get this kind of structure in Angular. Okay, so basically our application start from the app.ts, not main.ts. Main.ts is the main file which is required, but main.ts not starting to create our application. Actually when we are try to create our application, so basically every Angular app create by app.ts file, and this is the main starting file. And here we are get some issues when our application is running. So here you can see some warning message, all imports are not used. That means here I am see router outlet, and this router outlet is not used. So for that particular purpose we are getting this kind of message. So after removing it, and this time I am not getting any kind of issues right now. Okay, So if we are not getting any kind of issue after removing this, so uh, why router outlet is there in this file? Why router outlet in this position?
Okay.
Because router basically means when we are create multiple pages in our application, so that time router outlet is required. So but that's not uh, that's not important things right now. But when we are create any application, so I already shared with you the component structure. So this is the component structure, and after that when we are structure, so this is the what is the component anatomy? What is the component anatomy? uh, Anatomy basically is when we are working with components, so components have, this is the component function. Okay, it is a component function, and this particular function called as decorator function. Okay,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
called decorator function, type decorator. Okay, so if we are using at the rate sign, and if our function name start with capital letter, so that means this is the class type decorator, where passing a object name component object. Okay, so basically this is actually passing an object which is called component object.
Okay.
And this component object properties are selector. So this selector is important when we are working with component. So component selector is so much important. How? How is important? Basically, when we go to the visit index.html file, and this index.html have app root. Okay, app root element, and this app root element are actually called here as selector.
Okay.
How it work? Just I remove this particular section, only root. Okay, if I write it root, so now after using this we cannot see anything in our page.
Okay.
If I go inspect element in our page, and then this app root is blank completely.
Okay.
Okay, so basically thing is and also we get some error also, root did not match. Okay, so that means this is the selector which cannot be find from the javascript section. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
basically if I change it like only root here, and after that we can see the output.
Okay.
So this is the selector, and this selector is so much important. If you write tt tag, and you can also rename with like this way, and similar way we can see the output. And after that into, you can go to the section, and here you can see the inner child data which is actually put here.
Okay.
Okay, so basically this selector point is a connector. So this is this connector. Why is app here before? Why app is before when we start our working? Why app is here?
Okay.
Because app,
Naming standard.
because app is a prefix of our application. So basically this app folder are mentioned and here, and we are actually connected our application through the app selector. But this app selector can be customizable. How? Basically, as per selector prospect, we already customized it before. But when we are created any new component, so that particular component always come with app prefix. Basically, this prefix are set up here in angular.json file. Okay, so how can do that? How can create a new component? Basically, this time, when we are write any uh, code in our application, so we need to be split out our code. When our code is sometimes bigger, then we can modularize, or we can split out the codes some other files, right?
Yeah.
And did you do that before in your any project?
Yes. So, as I said, long back worked on a Windows project. So we
Hmm.
had DLLs created,
Hmm.
the connection strings, all those items of managed in a single place,
Hmm.
and all database connectivities are managed with that.
With the
So
another
we
file.
call those. Sorry.
With the another file, basically you are
Yes.
connected,
Yes.
or main file is a some chunk of codes are there, and
Yeah.
have any some logical part or any database related connectivity. That
Yes.
type of codes are shifted with the another file, right?
Yeah.
So that's called object oriented programming, right?
Yeah.
Basically you are create another class, and you pass all the things with the another file, and that class are connected with your main class,
Yes.
right? And it is the
Yeah.
object oriented programming like that we are created when we are working with the Angular, React, or whatever front end framework. So we also do that same things like object oriented designing. So basically thing is, if our code is maximized here, like here have so many lines of code already here, so if we want to shift this some codes to another file, so that time we can create another component to shift our some chunk of codes to another file, right?
Okay.
So how can work it? Just I simply I simply uh, open another terminal using the folder name. So this is our demo app folder, and over that folder right click here, and after that open in integrated terminal, and another terminal open in your VS Code section. And once it open, after then you just npm, sorry, not npm, you don't use here npm, you are use ng. Basically this time we need to be create angular component. So if we want to create angular component, so for that particular purpose we require to use ng for this is the angular command line. And after that we can use ngg, and then we can use the component name here. So not component name, actually g means generate, and then we can use the help if we are if we did not know anything about the what kind of CLI commands available in our in we have actually. So basically first angular command is ng, then we can check out the command, what kind of commands is available for working. So this is all the commands which is available to create our application or any other tasks. Okay.
Okay.
So here I have some syntaxes are here. So actually this time we required ng generate. So ng generate are actually create some files which is actually required to build our application. So we can also use aliases with g only. Okay. So now just I'm clear the console, and then we also use g, and then we can use another option help to understand what kind of generate options is available for us. So here have every kind of things which kind of generate options are available here. Okay. After G, we can use schematic option. So here I have so many schematic options are here. Did you see?
Yes.
So after that, we are need to use another component. We need to create another component. So this is the component option, and here also have some alias name is C. So basically, if we want to create another component here, so just we can use ng g and c, and then we can use the folder name where we are put all our components. So for that particular purpose, I just use the name components. So components components slash nav bar. Okay, so just I use this name navbar, and right now you already seen here components folder are already created, and after that this navbar components are created after using this command line. Okay,
Okay.
we can also create another component like footer. We can use another component footer. So right now we can see two components here. One is the header component, one is the navbar component, and another is the footer component, right?
Yeah.
Could you understand what I say?
So what you are saying is the nav bar.
Now I
We
create two
have.
components here.
Hmm.
One is the header bar, navbar component, and another is the footer component. Okay,
Okay.
two
Yeah.
components are created by the command line,
Okay.
and after that which is are placed in the app.html. So and this is the app.html part, and from here I just cut from here, and then I just paste that html into the navbar html section. Okay, just
Okay.
open the navbar.html file and cut from there and paste here, right?
Okay.
But we already our environment already is running behind the this new terminal. This is the new terminal, and it is the older terminal where already our application is running. So after shifted this code, what kind of changes is here right now? So now we did not see any navbar options, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Because we are already shifted the navbar options from the HTML file, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So basically thing is, when we already shifted our application navbar options from our app.html file, so now we can use a selector called app minus nav bar. Sorry, nav bar. How can I use this? How can I use this?
Uh, Sorry. What is the question?
I am using app minus nav minus bar. I am using this kind of this selector. How?
Okay. So wherever we are giving.
How
Okay.
how we can use this particular things?
So how previously that app.html, right?
Hmm. Basically, this is the selector point. Okay, we already talk about selector before,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
previous selector working in this HTML file, index.html.
Yeah.
That HTML are connected from this particular selector option, right?
Yeah.
And this selector actually pushing the data in this section, right?
Okay.
And similar like this, uh, app bar is the main app bar is the class name, and here is the selector name, which is the app nav bar.
Okay.
Understood?
Yeah.
And this is the selector, and when we are use this selector, and if we want to use this particular component in any other component, so that time we can use that selector in our HTML file.
Okay.
Okay, so this selector actually reference for component link or component connections. Okay,
Okay.
understood? But
Yeah.
if we create it in our component section, but other after that our component not be connected, this time we can see some error.
Mm.
What is said basically thing is, if we are using this particular section, then we need to be import that class in our uh, component section. Basically what is say, if I use this particular selector name, then this class need to be import in this section also. So basically
Okay.
nav bar uh, class instance also need to be create here, and then we can see the output, which I already set up before.
Okay.
But one more thing, when I catch the file and color is gone,
Mm. Yes.
why? Because we are written this CSS here only.
Mm.
Okay, so basically thing is, at this moment I just cut from here in this particular color and paste that color into the navbar CSS section. And if I paste it here, cut from the app bar section, app CSS section to navbar CSS, then we can see the color is changed.
Okay.
Understood the
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
So this is,
So,
mm, tell me.
no, no. You proceed, please. Yes. What I understand is, uh, from one side, we are for each of the component what we are using,
Hmm.
we are moving that to different sides.
Hmm. Actually, if we want to split our design with the another files, with the other files, that time we can create components.
Okay.
Because when you see any HTML website page, any HTML page, so every HTML have in a single page, mostly, right?
Okay.
But
Oh, okay.
but when we are create any application, so that time we are splitting that all the HTML as per requirement for content generation, right?
Yeah.
If we are working in background processes or background application, server side application, when we are created before, so basically what we did, everything processed behind the server, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Every HTML are generated by the server. But at this moment when we are using the Angular, so Angular actually created same things, but it's working into the client section, not it working in a server
Okay.
byte. Understood?
Understood.
Okay, so now I just try to explain about the Angular, component anatomy. Component anatomy means basically this is the footer component also is here, but this time I did not attach any footer component at this moment, right? So if we want to create any component class manually, so how can do that? Okay, because before I created with the command line, right? But how it work it manually? If I want to create the component manually without using in this command line, so how can do that? Okay,
Yeah, sure.
so how can do that?
How it can be done? Yes.
Now I
That
just
is
remove
this.
the footer component section, footer
Okay.
component options. So all the files are removed, all the file is gone. Now I just simply create a file name footer.ts. This is the main file which is required to create a component. Okay, so let's see how can we create the component. When we are create any component, so before that actually we need to be use the export actually why required, so I explain it later because sometimes javascript part is involved here. So this is the module architecture process in javascript. When we are some modules are connected with the another module, so that time we should have export syntax using any kind of syntax like class, constant, uh, class, variable, function, whatever we are using inside that file. And if we are using that particular function, const, variable or class with the export syntax, and then that particular file can be accessed other section. So
Okay.
I just said so many uh, technical thing, but what is the actual thing is here. So now I just simply use class footer. So this is the class footer, and here I can see something here. So just I write the class footer here. Okay, and when I return this class footer, so after return this class footer, I just import this class into this section. Okay, so this footer component can be put here. Okay,
Okay.
this footer component comes from the footer class, right?
Okay.
So this footer class is already coming, but when I using this when we use this component class, but this component class have some complaints. What kind of complaint? Component import must be standalone components, directives, pipe, and ng modules. But we are not using any kind of that types, components, directives, or pipes. We are not using here. How can do that? Here, if here required components. So basically, if required components, so basically, just we need to use components component, and this component is a decorator function, and this decorator function need to be import angular.code. Okay, hello.
Yeah.
And after that we can use the curly brace, and after this curly brace we can use first selector name like uh, app footer. Okay, and when we are using this app footer, after that we can see what type of output we are getting here. So after this I just refresh the file output, and this time we are not getting any kind of error after the using this component function. Understood?
Okay. Yeah.
So basically thing is, if we are connecting the module with the another module, so that time we must have used this kind of decorator functions to get the data another file. Okay.
Okay.
So after that, how can use the design in our application? So basically thing is, if I put the footer option, so this time I can use app footer like this also. Okay. Basically we
Okay.
have already selected name app footer, right?
Okay. Okay.
And when I return app footer, so after this we cannot see any kind of output from here, right?
Yeah.
Any kind of output does not available because we did not put any kind of HTML options. Is I put any kind of HTML section here in this
No.
file? Hello.
No. No. No.
So
No
now we
HTML.
can use template, only template, not template URL. We can use template. Okay. And if we are using template, just I simply write h1 tag and we just use only template component. So we just simply put footer component, and after refresh the page we can see the output. We need to why not?
So what is when we say template footer component?
Hmm. Actually
So how
this
does it?
hmm?
So how it gets like? Can you show in that website how it comes?
It's coming from this particular path. So this is the path option. Okay. uh, this particular application, this is the main application structure, and under the component section this file actually import from the file section. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
And this is the footer is connected, and after that this footer also be connected here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Customers footer picture. Okay.
Basically this is the selector point, and this selector is comes from here. And now if I put 3 whatever, just you can see this is the HTML part which I am writing here. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
This is the bare minimum options in
Okay.
HTML part if we are not using so many design things here.
Okay.
So just I am using
So,
it.
so now what we are basically doing is we are defining something called app selector, app footer,
Hmm.
and we are saying,
The,
and we are defining what is the template or
hmm.
what we should be
What is
doing.
the HTML part we are defining here? Okay.
Okay.
And if we are using any kind of style, so that after that we can use the style also here without any other file linking. Basically
Okay.
everything is collected into the class file, and after that produce that file uh, output from the after using that file. Basically everything are collected from the uh, ts file. Basically this ts
Okay.
file is collected all the styling, all the all the HTML part, all the styling part are collecting from the uh, class file basically.
Okay.
So
How
this
it is different from that nav bar what we are using before?
please repeat your question.
There is a nav bar folder above, right? Footer.ts.
Mm-hmm.
Above that there is a nav bar,
Hmm.
NAV
Hmm.
hyphen bar.
Mm-hmm.
Can you expand that left side panel? Left side, yeah.
Hmm.
Can you expand?
Hmm.
So here we have only one TS file, but there we have CSS, HTML, everything.
Hmm.
So now we can create one CSS and one HTML for footer also.
Hmm.
Is that correct?
Hmm. Basically thing is here they are using template URL and style URL. So that means they're referring other file
Okay.
to connect the design or HTML part with the
Okay.
file section. Okay, but basically it is a file section, and now you can see this HTML and CSS file is connected with the TS file, and that TS
Okay.
file is imported here in the navbar section. Okay, and also selector are uses in the HTML section.
Okay.
So that means this is the HTML part where we can use the HTML data, but that HTML data carried by class.
Okay.
Basically, class is a carrier. This class name is a carrier of this datas.
Okay.
Okay. So
That's good.
basically, without this, this import does not require. Basically, we require these three lines to get the data one component to another component like this. So
Okay.
uh, first thing is required a selector where we are placing our actually uh, component where we place the component. So this is the selector point, and after
Okay.
that what things I want to place, so that things are
Okay.
actually described here, and
Okay.
that things how looks like with the using the CSS. So this CSS are reflect the styling part with the HTML section. So this all these three things are required to generate our a component. So this is the component,
Okay.
and after that if we are check out the output, so go to the app section. So this you can see this is the app navbar component section, and after that we are using navbar section, and after the navbar we can use the all the things which are actually here. But in application Angular creates some dynamic attributes are created to actually unified the element. So basically it's actually creates some unified options which is are separated into another one component to another component. So basically their separation with this particular attributes. Otherwise everything we are use same which are normally used with the HTML CSS.
Understood. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the actually basic simple structure which I can use, but except that this is the footer section. So now we can open this footer section also. So this is the footer section, and this is the app footer which is our users as selector. Okay, and under this selector we can see in our own template section which I was used in the footer section, right?
Yeah.
And that footer are showing here. And if I put some kind of styling in this footer section, if I just simply give styling color red. Okay, just I simply put the color red here, and just I refreshed it. Okay, so here I am use footer, but footer space p. So that means footer is the main tag name, another tag name is p, and this particular syntax I need to be highlight as red color. So check out this color is red. Okay,
Okay.
so this is the styling options which I am using into the file, only one file which is the footer.ts. But if we want to
Okay.
split this particular file with the command section as navbar, so we can use
Okay.
footer folder here. After that we can put that footer folder inside there, and after that we can use uh, fwt here footer.html, and we can also create footer.css footer.css file here, and then we can split all this code from here to here. Okay, and after that we can also get this css styling from here to here. And when I placed everything from there, so after that we cannot see proper linking of our file, because this file location does not match. So after this footer we can see another footer file under this file, right? Basically this is the footer path, and after that we can see the footer file option also. So it is a module resolution option.
Can you also show the footer.ts file now a
Hmm.
bit?
This is the footer.ts file.
So we are not actually giving the template file name, right? HTML or CSS file names. It automatically takes that out.
Hmm. No, automatically text
In
not
the
out right now. I am actually customize the footer
yeah,
component. So basically,
yeah,
which
yeah.
are right before here,
Uh, hmm,
I just
yeah.
place this code into the template section.
Yeah, I understand that, but in TS file,
Hmm.
we are not giving reference to
Hmm.
footer.html or footer.css file.
Yes, yes. As of now,
So,
I am not give any reference option at this moment.
okay,
Okay. So for that particular purpose, we are not seeing anything about the footer.
okay, okay, got it,
Okay.
okay,
But when I am using the template URL here, and then we can use footer.html, which is this, and after using this we can see the output.
yeah,
Okay, and when I linked with the style URL, then we can see the output
okay,
also here.
okay, got it.
Okay, so style URL or style URLs we can use, and we can see the output easily. So this is the actual
Okay,
structure of our component. Okay,
okay,
I think you understand the component anatomy
yes, yes,
completely.
yes, yes,
Okay, and one more thing is here, like spec.ts, and this spec.ts actually working for testing, component testing purpose. But this time I'm not showing you component testing process, because it is sometimes difficult to understand.
okay, understood. Yeah.
Okay, so basically,
But now I have a clear understanding of this, how CSS, HTML, and TS
file is
are
working.
used.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And it is the actually process of understanding about HTML CSS. So for that particular purpose I am not it's showing you separately, because when we are working with Angular have HTML, CSS, and TypeScript, which is the replacement of JavaScript. These three things working together with the separate files. So basically, here I have HTML file, here I have CSS file. So basically, we does not require to learn so many things with the HTML CSS, because it does not require too much here when we are
yeah,
working with
yeah,
the
understood.
Angular. Angular. But thing is, this design is a separated, and it is the actually classes. It is a actually class, and this that class objects are created inside this component. when it is imported. Okay, basically
One
when
minute,
it's
one minute.
imports.
Can I just a minute? Just put there. Okay. Import data from
Basically thing is, if I use this reference, if I use this reference, these two reference, so how can we know uh, what is these elements are meaning, what kind of meaning
Okay.
is there? So that
Okay.
meanings are actually defined here
Okay.
by the ts file. Basically this
Okay.
ts file are define the meaning of that selector.
Okay. So again, app.ts on a higher level. It again depends at app level what are all the components used.
Basically, topmost high level file is index.html, and its support with the main.ts. Main.ts are connected with all the components, and this main.ts actually connected the app.ts file, and this app.ts file is actually connected here. Okay, and this file object is connected here, and this file also connected with other file, like this is the another file, and this file is comes from this file reference. This is the file reference, another file reference, and here I have the designs, and as well as footer also same, and this is the footer part, and that footer part also coming into the main this html file, and this html file when we are using the selector name, and that selector name actually comes from here, and there I can see where which kind of style are is required. Okay, so this is the all fundamentals understanding about the component section. Okay,
Okay.
it is the basic understanding of component decorations. It is a component decoration process. um,
Okay.
this time we are not connecting with the data, because uh, everything static data is here, not dynamic data. Like if we want to use any dynamic data, like if we want to use year, if I want to use year here, so if I use year, so then we must use year variable here.
Okay. And we need to define that.
Okay, if I using the year here, so then we can see the year here. If we are changing uh, 16 17 or whatever, so we can see the change.
Okay.
Okay, so basically this particular thing are connected with this particular syntax.
Okay.
So this particular syntax is the interpolation sign. It's called interpolation sign.
Okay.
It's called interpolation sign. It is the another section of our component section. So this is the components. We already understand about the uh, component anatomy, component selector, component style. Okay, already styling about component we already know, and now we need to be understand about the data and with the input properties. So we could be understand it later. Okay, so can I now I can end the session for today.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Uh,
But,
sure.
and one more things I need to know. Your